Hey you, it's Eric the IT guy with another Programmer's Tips for Civilians. This one's kind of for pros too. It's about using an old tool to solve a new problem. Guess I should start this off by saying that I'm kind of a tool junkie, and I'll show you what I mean by that. My main editor these days is probably Atom. I use it for web work mostly, and some serious programming stuff too. On the go, on the laptop in Chrome OS, what have you. I'm going to be in Caret most of the time. Caret's super full function, does everything that you would really need an editor to do. It's quick, yada yada yada. For web-based stuff, I spend a lot of time in JS-Fiddle because I do a lot of React work at work. So this is a good way to test little React modules in JS-Fiddle. And also at work, I do a lot of Python. So yeah, PyCharm. Just live in PyCharm all the time. PyCharm, I love it. It's wonderful. It takes forever to start. Also, I'll mention that at work, I'm tied to Visual Studio and MS Team Services, which is unfortunate. So let me close some of this stuff. I just want to show you a real use case, right? So don't need this, don't need that. I will keep you. So the tool I want to talk about in a moment is Notepad++. That can be found at notepad ++org. And this is an old tool. It's been around since 2003. I've used it over the years. Back in the day, used to use it as a replacement for Notepad when Windows Notepad was just fucking awful. But I haven't used it in a really long time, and it fell off my radar. I've recently been reacquainted with it, and that's what I want to share with you today because it is frigging cool. So let's look at that real-world use case. So let's pick a target, right? So let's see, something on my site. I have this little noodles thing, right? So, for example, there's this blues guitar thing that we're going to play with here now. Yay. Okay, enough of that. So there's that. Let's say I wanted to modify this in real time, right? So what I would normally do is I would fire up the editor, which is Atom, and watch how long Atom takes to fire up. Okay, so, all right, technically we're fired up now. So generally I would have to either fire up something like CyberDuck to establish an SFTP connection, or what I've actually done is I've just mapped that as a network drive, and there's CyberDuck. We're not going to worry about that though. I've mapped that as a network drive in Windows, so I can just pop into it, and I could go into that noodles directory, and there I would have access to index, and I would download that over secure FTP, and then I would edit it in Atom, and yada yada yada. Not the most efficient workflow in the world. So let's do this. Actually, I have Notepad open. I'm going to close it. And now let's open Notepad and take a gander at how quickly it opens. Ready? Go. Boom. Pretty quick. So what we can do now is we can use the SFTP function over here to connect to that site. Okay, cool. We're in. And let's find that noodles directory and the index file. And we'll just find that blues tag, right? Okay, there it is. So let's say I changed it and I changed the code, and now it's going to be new blues guitar, right? So I'll just Control S to save that off, and then I'll refresh over here. And now it's new blues guitar in real time. Done. I can go have lunch. Very, very useful, and actually, makes the workflow a lot better. Let me change this back and reload, and just like that, Bob's your auntie. Done. Lots of other features that go along with this. You can take a look at some of the plugins. This is the FTP plugin. There's also a snippets plugin. I'll show you that in just 1 second. It's kind of awesome. Topmost, you can do things like making this main window transparent. You can also, well, actually, you have to do more than that. Sorry about that. Well, not only Windows, okay. So now it's a transparent window, and I can change the transparency. You could play with that. I think it's really cool, but it gets annoying very quickly. Okay, so no more transparency. X brackets light auto completes brackets for you, which is super helpful. There is a built-in spell check, which is good, and it also does syntax checking. You have MIME tools, so you can change encoding, and converters for switching between ASCII and hex. There's also a plugin manager, which I'll show you here, and all of the available plugins, all of the 64-bit plugins supported are here. Click on any one of them, you'll get a description, and you'll be able to decide what to install. Super powerful and super nice. The other thing I did want to show you is snippets, because snippets are really cool. So let's see, where is snippets here? Yeah, there we go. So here's the snippets window, right? So these are for like boilerplate. So if I was doing a style sheet, for example, I just click that, and there's a blank style sheet. I could also do things like decorated templates. Here's the HTML that I use. It's just boilerplate, and now I can just go ahead and do a file from there. jQuery and generic JavaScript. Also very, very handy if I wanted to write a SQL statement, like a select statement. Bing, done right there. Switch back over to, let's see, let's do a CSS. And if I switch over to CSS, I can switch over here, and now I have a whole list of tags. So I could just pop tags in at will. And if I change over to, what is this one? Oh, this is a function. Then we can hit here and go into escaped characters. So you get the idea. It is a super powerful little program. I am really enamored of it, and I thought I would share it with you. And hopefully you find that helpful. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me and dicking around in the bat cave in the deep, dark heart of Soma. I'm Eric, the IT guy. Thanks for your attention. Talk to you next time.